Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Heather and here at Heather's Book Review, this is a book channel. However, I am recently a new mom. My son just turned 4 weeks, like a couple days ago. So he's almost 5 weeks old. And while I review books here on my channel, I did want to create a labor, pregnancy, and delivery series just because I really struggled finding this content when I was going through my conceiving journey and going through my pregnancy journey and definitely my postpartum journey, which is a whole video right now dedicated to postpartum essentials and things that I wish I had. But basically, if you like books and you like reviews, or maybe you want to get into reading, I would love if you could check out my channel or check out the other pregnancy related videos that I have. All of that good stuff will be in the description box below. So far in this series, I have filmed my ovulation video, how I got pregnant, my conceiving journey, and I've also filmed my pregnancy 2-week weight journey and pictures of all of my pregnancy tests for when I was finding out I was pregnant. And that also has parts on like implantation bleeding, which I experienced. So both of those videos will be in the description box below, along with future videos to come. If you're viewing this and it's quite a bit after I filmed, I'm sure those videos will already be linked in the description box for you. You will see me looking down to the left here because this is where I'm reading my notes. So I'll be doing that a lot throughout the video, but I just want to say none of this is sponsored. All of the links below are Amazon links. They are affiliate links. So if you purchase through that link, I get like a super small commission. But none of this is sponsored. This is literally all things that I ended up buying. I had none of this stuff that I'm gonna talk about in the beginning of the video. Later in the video will be stuff that like I did have or like had my shit together with, so to speak. But right now this is everything that like I got home from the hospital, had none of this, and was like, holy cow, Amazon became my best friend, if you catch my drift. They got so much of my money. So yeah, I just basically said all of that. This is all stuff that I wish I had. So here we go. I'll put little pictures here too of what this stuff looks like, but everything will be linked for you in the description in the order that I'm going to say it right now. So first thing, and probably the thing that brought me the most relief, was the Perennial ice pack pads. They're literally pads that get cold when you crack them, and they just offer relief for your vagina. I had a vaginal delivery. Sorry, should have said that in the beginning. But this with some tearing. So these brought me a lot of much needed relief. They do have them at the hospital too. I didn't even know that these existed, to be honest. But they gave them to me at the hospital. I was like, oh my gosh, it just offers you like 15 minutes of cool relief down there. And trust me, if you are stitched up, or maybe if you're not even stitched up, maybe you didn't have tearing, regardless, you're still sore. And not only do these pads collect everything, you know, that is being released from your body, all the blood and everything, but they also just offer you like 15 minutes of relief, and they're amazing. I don't know what I would have done if I didn't have these at home. Also, just a little tip, they give you what's called a Peri Bottle at the hospital, or you can buy them on Amazon too, but if you put a little water on the ice pack pad, it stays cool for longer. A tip that the nurse taught me at the hospital, and oh my God, it was amazing. So like I just said, the Peri Bottle, I took mine from the hospital. They only give you one there, but I actually ended up going back to the hospital about 3 weeks postpartum because I had a really terrible infection. It was so bad, but I was there for like another 4 to 5 days. And anyways, I got another Peri Bottle there, but I did find a pack for you guys on Amazon that's like $5 and you get 3. And the reason I'm saying that I would have preferred like more than one is because it's just nice to keep them in like different bathrooms. For example, we have 2 bathrooms on the top level of our house, and obviously I wasn't going downstairs. We have a ranch, so like our basement areas, like where our washer and dryer is and everything, but I wasn't going down there. Obviously postpartum, you're not supposed to go up and down stairs. Well, at least in my situation, they were like, don't go up and down stairs. I don't know, I'm not a doctor, but anyways, the point I'm trying to get at is it was nice to have both of the bottles, because then I didn't have to be like, oh, which bathroom did I leave the Peri bottle in? It was just nice to bring it, or it was just nice to have them in both bathrooms. Okay, this is obviously just, I'm being very honest, TMI included, whatever, you guys have gotten that by now. But I bought 2 types of pads. I bought like the ridiculously big, obnoxious overnight pads from Always, and I used those for the first like 3 weeks of my pregnancy, because I bled for the first 3 weeks postpartum. I bled for about a month after, and these were amazing. I mean, they're huge. You guys know, it's almost kind of like, I mean, in my experience, when I first got my period when I was way young, I used these only because I was so anxious that I was gonna, like, you know, bleed all over my bed sheets or bleed all over, you know, sitting in school as a little girl. Like, you just worry about that stuff, right? Well, at least I did. But these overnight huge massive pads, you can't get any bigger than these pads, were great because, like, I was in a lot of pain. I wasn't trying to like walk around a whole lot, you know, and like it was just great to have this and not worry about leaking anywhere. And then I got the regular nighttime pads. Again, all of this is linked in the description below, but they are meant for overnight, so they are longer, but they're super absorbent and they're thin. And I used those when I was still bleeding, but like it wasn't that bad. I wish I had these both at the same time because I feel like I kind of wasted a lot of the huge overnight pads. So I recommend just having both of these, especially if you are planning to have a vaginal delivery for sure. Something that I did have, sorry, it should be in the later part of the video, but it's here and everything is already listed in the order I'm saying it, so I'm just gonna keep it. Something you probably already have is baby soap. They will tell you at the hospital, you know, right when you go home, it's obviously very sensitive down there. Like, they don't want you scrubbing with soap, okay? But they do say like it's okay if gentle suds drip down, and what's more gentle than baby soap. So we use the liquid Aveeno. We love it. We've been using it with my son for over a month now, and it's been great for his skin. So I actually use that. I got the bigger size because I knew I was gonna be using it too, and I love it. It's very gentle, didn't cause any issues down there, and obviously, like I said, it's great for the baby. So it's kind of 2-in-1. Great for your little one, great for you. Getting into everything breast related, and holy cow, I have a ton for you guys. This is where I struggled the most. I should have done more research for this. I really should have, but you know what? Now I'm making this video for you guys. So hopefully you watch this and it helps you out. First and foremost is nipple cream. I use the Lantache, I hope that's how you say it. I think it is. It's the Lantache nipple cream. I did get samples of this at the hospital. They, you know, the nurses were like, it's so safe for the baby if there's any residue, blah, blah, blah. But oh my gosh, I was so sore. This is my first baby. So I, you know, was new to the breastfeeding journey, new to latching, and this nipple cream just offered a little bit of relief. The samples that you get though at the hospital, I'm trying to, do I have anything like, they're like this big, okay? So they're good for like 3 uses. So I put in the description box below this, the size that I got. I'm not even 1/4 of the way through the bottle now. I will say, like, I forget to use it sometimes. So the fact that like I'm not done with the first bottle, it may not be reflective of other people, but it's a good size, and you really, really don't need that much because it's like you're only putting it on the nipple. You're not putting it on the areola. Which leads me into breast pads. Actually, now that I'm filming this, I need to order more of those because I think I only have like 20 left. Breast pads. I also use the Lantache brand for this as well. Love them. Cohesive little strips on each pad, so you just pull the little tabs off, open it up, and you can stick it in your bra any way that you want. They're great, especially for nighttime. When you're sleeping and you're moving every which way and there's letdown milk, it's just like, you know, I didn't have these at first and I ruined so many like tank tops and sports bras because the milk sometimes like leaves stains, almost kind of like an oil stain. If you've ever spilt like oil on your shirt, or some other type of liquid where it's like it leaves the mark of where the liquid was, if that makes sense. So I wish I had these right away because you need them right away, right? Like when you're in the hospital, the baby, you know, is getting your colostrum. I hope I'm saying that right. The stuff before your milk comes in. Then you get home, your milk's in. And in my experience, I was like, I'm shit out of luck, right? Like I was like, I'm getting this everywhere. It was so annoying. Which leads me into breast shells. Basically, you put these in your bra to prevent your nipples from touching fabric. My nipples were so sore, like in my hospital stay. Like I couldn't even, and like weeks 1 and 2, I couldn't even fathom like putting on a bra without these breast shells. I got a starter one from Medela from the hospital, but I recommend the Haka combo, which is going to lead me into this. I have a friend who I was just texting her all the time when my baby was, you know, newborn, hers was like 6 weeks. And I was like, listen, I am losing so much of this letdown milk. It's annoying. It's getting all over me. And she recommended this Haka combo set. It's like $40, but just get it and get the combo set, you guys, because it's literally meant for letdown milk. So if you plan on breastfeeding, you know, when your little one is latched on to one side of you, you put the Haka on the other and it collects all of your letdown milk. It's amazing. It's not painful. I mean, I was able to really get my storage pump supply up simply from collecting my letdown milk. And that was great because as I mentioned earlier in this video, I was in the hospital for 4 to 5 days when my baby was like 3 weeks old. And that sucked. It was really, you know, emotional for me being away from him. And I was so worried that I was like gonna run out of the supply, but we didn't. Right when I got home, we had like 2 bags of my supply left. But because of the Haka, I was able to prepare. And it also comes with 2 breast shells, which I preferred to the Medela. The Medela is great for like if you're going out, oh, I have to run to the store. Oh, I'm gonna go get a pedicure. Put the Medela in, you know, it's like $9-10 I think. But the Haka, it comes with, if you get the combo set, it comes with 2 little like they're like cute little like ladybug breast shells. You just put them over your nipples, put them in your bra, and it collects any letdown milk. So when it's time for you to feed again, which your baby is gonna be feeding all the time in the beginning, you're gonna, you know, be able to collect half an ounce, sometimes 2 ounces, depending on how long the feeding is. So if you buy anything after watching this video, get the Haka combo set. I cannot sing the praises enough for that. What else? Comfortable sleeping bras. Let's see, for the all-time wear. Okay, so I'm linking 2 types here. If I was gonna like go out to the store or put the Haka combo set in, I use these like black, I got the color black, but you can get them in like nude and everything. I wanna say they're Hanes, or maybe the sports bras are Hanes. Regardless, they're really reasonably priced. They're not wireless, which was great, and it fit me so well being able to put in the Haka cup. And then I just got some really like very loose, because you don't want to wear any super tight sports bras and like stop your milk from coming in. Very loose, a 3-pack for like $12 I think, 12 or 20, I can't remember. Sports bras, amazing. I mean, like I wear them all the time. They're so easy to put the pads in, but I recommend getting the bras that I mentioned first. If you look in the description below, just open up both of those links and you'll know what I mean. They just look like a regular bra. If you plan on using the Haka like breast shells, it's easier to use them with like a normal bra versus a sports bra, in my opinion. I'm sure some women use them with, you know, sports bras too, but like I just think it could get a little messy in here. There's like 2 separate compartments versus uniboob. Okay, I know I already said if you're gonna buy one thing from watching this video, get the Haka combo set. But also something else that like seriously, I don't know what I would do if I didn't have these. Hands-free pumping bras. Oh my God, a game changer. I have a friend who gave birth like exactly 1 month after me. And I was like, you have to get these. you have to get these hands-free pumping bras. And she was like, okay, she got them. They're amazing. I will say I got 2, and I like them for different reasons. I got like the front zip. There's one that zips up front, which is just super easy because you kind of put it on like you're putting on a sweater. Just put your arms through the straps and then you zip up front. Super easy. And then I got another one that just clips like a regular bra on the back. I will say that one's a little bit more comfortable, but I prefer having the zip in the front. So I don't know, it's just, they're like 2 different materials. I don't know how to describe it, but I use them interchangeably. They're both great, and I'm happy that I got both of them. But you're probably like, why do you have pumping bras? You've been talking about breastfeeding. 2 reasons. One, when my son was breastfeeding, I would pump after for like 3 to 5 minutes, just to try to get in that milk supply more and more. And that was also a reason that I was able to have a good storage for when I went to the hospital. So that really worked out for me. I didn't read that anywhere. I just like decided to do that because I was like, you know, I did read that like depending on how much your baby feeds, and like if you do pumping strictly, it's like the way to tell your body to produce more milk. So after he would feed, I would just pump for 3 to 5 minutes and just, you know, store those half an ounce or an ounce each time. But then flash forward to like 3 weeks-ish of my son being born, it was just, he was not latching correctly, and I didn't know that, and breastfeeding was extremely painful for me. Extremely painful. Like I had blood blisters all the time. It was terrible. I would cry when he latched. That's not supposed to happen, and if that's happening to you now, something's wrong. Okay, it's not supposed to be painful. So I strictly went to just pumping, which I'm doing now, and you know, he's close to 5 weeks, and he just feeds from the bottle. So I obviously, every time, you know, after he's done feeding, I pump, and having these hands-free pumping bras are amazing because I can wash bottles, I can do dishes, I can fold laundry instead of just sitting there. I have the Spectra Plus pump, which I love, but I'll link that below. I didn't mention that in here, but I can link it if you guys want it. I got it free from insurance, but I don't know, I think you can buy it. I think my friend said that she bought it not through insurance, so I can link it if you guys want. But basically, you have to sit there like this and just hold them on you. And I was like, this is like 20 to 30 minutes of time where like I could be, you know, writing a book review or writing my next pregnancy video. So those are amazing. Okay. Now we're gonna get into the part of the video where I did have my act together with some stuff. So this is just little bits of advice of if I was you guys, I would do this before, because these are things that I did, and I'm so grateful that I did them before I came home from the hospital. If you plan on pumping, like I said, you know, like after feedings or whatever, to try to get your supply up, or if you plan on using any bottles, like I, you know, with my pump, it stores in bottles, you know what I mean? So before I put it in the little like Lantache milk bags, but open up all your stuff. Open up all of the bottles. Make sure you know how your pump works, because you're gonna be so exhausted when you come home. And this may seem like duh, a lot of this may seem like duh, but like, you know, for some people it's not, and they get home, they're like, shit, I didn't open up all of these bottles, I have all these packages, I'm exhausted, I'm on 2 hours of collective sleep in the last 24 hours, you know, like just open up all of that stuff. My breast pump stuff said that like you needed to sanitize, but it was only sterile for 3 days. So I worried about that. So I didn't boil or sterilize or sanitize anything or sterilize anything. But looking back, I probably would have, because they would have just been in a cabinet. But I'm a worrier, so I just didn't. And, but at least all of my stuff was open by then, right? So I wasn't just sitting there spending like half an hour trying to cut all these packages and whatnot. The next one, probably one of my favorite ones, buy big underwear. I put in the description below the 2 types of underwear that I bought. I got like hipsters for when I wasn't using those gigantic pads that I talked about. And I also got like what people call granny panties. I love them. I think they're so comfortable, but they sit like right below your belly button. It's just great. Like you get a bunch of underwear, and I would size up, right? Because you're swollen after, you know, you postpartum, like you guys know this, your body doesn't go back to what it was before pregnancy. Like you're swollen, you're tender, just, you don't want to be like squeezing into super tight underwear. So I sized up for both of these, and I'm so glad that I did. And then make sure you wash them. I washed all of my stuff. So when I came home from the hospital, I had, you know, like 20 pairs of clean underwear. I washed all of my pajamas. Because let's be honest, you are going to want to go for comfort. So I lived in pajamas, and I was so happy that all of that was washed, and my clean underwear. So my husband and I went to IKEA a little bit before I gave birth, and we got a bunch of those super cheap hanging closet organizers, which are so helpful. I found some on Amazon for super cheap that, again, are in the description box below. But that was just really nice to have, because like I wasn't trying to bend down, go in the dresser. You know, I had a hanging organizer, a compartment for my underwear. Sorry, my son looks like he's waking up. It's probably, as I was saying, I wasn't trying to like bend down and get stuff from our dresser and everything. It was nice to just have a hanging organizer where all of my underwear was in one compartment, all of my pajamas, all of my loose t-shirts. You know, I still wore my pregnancy leggings for a while after too. So it was nice to have that and just have like, I literally had it all prepared. It was all like postpartum clothing. And I'm so happy that I did that, because I was watching another YouTuber who was saying that she didn't do that. And she was like, I came home and my in-laws were coming over, and she's like, I didn't have a thing to wear. And I was like, I don't want to be stressing about that. Like the last thing on your mind you want is like laundry. You know what I mean? So just prepare all of that stuff. Get it nice and organized in an accessible place for you. But clean your bedding. There is nothing better than coming home from the hospital, taking a shower, and then getting into just like fresh, clean sheets. And let's be honest, you're probably not going to wash your sheets for a couple of weeks after you give birth, because you're going to be so exhausted. And I'm not exaggerating when I say there are days where I literally was on a collective like 3 hours of sleep for a couple of weeks. So it was just nice to be prepared with that as well. Really just make sure your home is ready before you go to the hospital. Make sure, you know, like do your dishes and all that stuff, because of COVID, depending on when you're watching this, I gave birth June 2021. So not even in the height of COVID. But the nursery was closed at the hospital. Typically, you know, you can ask like, oh, can you take my baby for a little bit so I could get some sleep? And that wasn't an option. And it was challenging, because I probably got the longest stretch of sleep I got at the hospital was probably like an hour, because after you give birth, you know, they're coming in, they're checking your blood pressure every 3 hours, giving you Tylenol, giving you other, you know, blood clot medicine. The baby's waking up and feeding, and like, you're just going to be exhausted. I came home and literally was just so tired, and I was so tired for days and weeks after that. So it was just nice to, you know, like not come home to a messy house, not come home to dishes, not come home to laundry, just like prep all of your stuff, which again may seem like a no-brainer, but and then, you know, this is the last thing, I washed all of his clothes, all of his newborn clothes, all of his 0 to 3 months clothes, and I just, you know, had him all washed, had his, you know, nursery ready. The one thing I didn't have, now that I'm just saying this, was newborn diapers. I only had size 1, and my son was almost 8 pounds when he was born, so he needed the newborn. You know, size 1s were too big. So just making sure you have like all of that stuff. I would also recommend the Pampers sensitive wipes. We got the massive Kirkland ones from Costco. And I will say we love Costco's diapers. He's wearing size 1 Costco diapers now, and they're great. But we got their wipes, and the wipes are just rough. They're rough. And like, you can just even feel, like if you close your eyes and you had a Kirkland's wipe in one and a Pampers sensitive in the other, it's like drastically different. So we love the Pampers sensitive wipes. Those are amazing. And I will not use any other wipes. Like, they're so great. So hopefully you found this video helpful. That was everything that I wish I had, and I'm so grateful that I have now versus things that, you know, I made sure to get prepared for. I'm gonna go because he's gonna wake up. Please check out other videos in this series or some of my book reviews. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, you guys.